Welcome back. Namibia is gearing up to launch the End of Learning Poverty for All campaign, also known as ELPAF, as part of a broader African initiative to ensure every child can read and understand a simple text by the age of 10. The campaign is being rolled out under the leadership of the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture in partnership with various stakeholders. Joining us now to unpack what this means for learners, teachers and parents alike across Namibia is Ms. Edda Bohn, the Deputy Executive Director for Formal Education and Schools at the Ministry. Madam Bohn, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Nina, and good evening to all the viewers.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, this is quite exciting, I think. So just to start with, Madam Bohn, what does the ELPAF campaign mean in the context of Namibia's education system, and why is it so crucial at this moment?
Yeah, what we need to realize in the bigger context of things is that the Namibia reports to the SDGs annually as well as any other country affiliated to the UN. So as part of that, in September last year, under the AU, such a campaign was launched under the AU and encouraged 25 African countries to follow suit in launching their country-based program, advocacy program in ending learning poverty. So what we mean by this is that all learners reaching the age of 10 years are able to read and understand a simple story at the age of 10. Yeah, so that would mean after the junior primary phase of education.
Fantastic.
So what we find in Namibia when we do the baseline assessment, we did one last year in November with a statistical representative sample of grade 3 learners, grade 3 learners, and we found out that only can read and write a simple sentence. So that is very close to what was the sub-Saharan indicator that close to 9 out of 10 learners cannot read and write a simple story. So we also have to, improve, and therefore we join this advocacy in ending learning poverty, which means learners go to school, but they do not actually achieve the basic competencies set out.
Madam Bohn, talk to us about what contributes to learning poverty in Namibia.
In Namibia in particular, I think, is this whole problem. Yes, we have access for our learners, but then we advocate mother tongue instruction, and that as much as our curriculum offers 11 languages for junior primary, the population, due to movement and alike, is often homogeneous. Not homogeneous. That means there's a mix of learners, and then we have to consolidate on a particular medium of instruction which might not be familiar to a particular learner in class. So that is a contributing challenge. And then also, the ministry has embarked on an initiative of rolling out teacher training to all junior primary teachers on Jollyphonics. That is one model of increasing teacher capacity in teaching phonics and phonemic awareness and decoding at the young the junior primary phase, from pre-primary to grade 3. But what often also when you engage with teachers, they say that learners are not adequately prepared in terms of school readiness. And if we go back in Namibia, our pre-primary rollout is just about 56% of learners have actually access to pre-primary. And if we look at ECD, then the learners overall having access to ECD are also very low, correlating with this actually achievement rate of only 28% of learners meet the standard. So it is our ECD and pre-primary where we actually have to, provide quality service to all.
Well, the campaign is ending learning poverty for all, and all means all. So talk to us a bit about how this campaign will be rolled out so that even the most marginalized child in the most marginalized community will be reached.
Yeah, the ambition is through what we call the early grade reading assessment that is custom designed for each language for teaching and learning in the curriculum. Through these initiatives, we build the teacher capacity and then not to leave out any learner. So once you have a group of learners of a particular language group, then they should have the privilege to learn through their familiar medium of instruction. That means home language.
Madam Bohn, of course, like I said, this is exciting. And is there anybody, any stakeholders that the ministry is working with to make this campaign, not only reality, but really successful as well? Yeah,
we are working closely with the UN agencies on this, but also the public at large and individuals who are working in this junior primary phase to make it a success. Prior to the launch on the 31st of July, we'll have a symposium where submission date for research papers is actually, due date is today. But so whatever research regarding improving learning outcomes at junior primary is existing, we wish to create the platform for sharing, and through sharing best practices, of course, we inform policy briefs and our numeracy and literacy strategy.
Fantastic. Well, just your very brief remarks this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to say, to advocate for this. The launch is the advocacy campaign to end learning poverty, because if you do not know about the problem, you cannot explore intervention successfully to contribute. And so education is a shared responsibility, so we really count on every Namibian, every citizen to make a difference in getting the basic competencies at the junior primary phase right.
Fantastic. Madam Edda Bohn, thank you so much for being with us this evening. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Well, when we come back after this brief break, our conversations continue. Do stay with us.